All right, what's up, everybody? So I was hoping that Markeith would announce his commitment a little before my live started because he said 7, and I hear he's about to go on his IG live like right now. So we will keep you posted on that, brother Jay Blaze. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Let's give a minute for the chat to fill up. What's up, Randy? How you doing? So yeah, we are on Markeith Williams' watch right now. I will keep you posted. I promise. I am here refreshing his Instagram right now, waiting for that post. All signs point to, from what I'm hearing, is that Markeith Williams, who is a top 10, top 15 safety in the nation for the class of 2022, is going to be a Cane. All signs point to that. All the crystal ball predictions on 247 were saying that. So let's see. Like I said, I'm going to keep you posted. And you guys, keep hitting refresh on your Instagram. Maybe you can keep me posted as well in case I'm in case my internet's a second slow. What's going on, everybody? So besides the Markeith Williams commitment, got some stuff to talk about. First of all, the season starts in 24 days. So we're 3 weeks from playing Bama. That's crazy to me. The off season flew by so fast. So we got Bama in 3 weeks. We got some recruiting updates besides Markeith to talk about. We got some fall camp stuff to talk about. But yeah, this is one of my favorite times of the year, right before the season starts. Unchained, haven't seen him yet in the chat. Welcome. But yeah, this is that anticipation right before the season starts. That's the best. But yeah, let's talk. Since we're on the subject of recruiting, let's talk a little bit of recruiting. This class so far, I know it's ranked like 40 something in the nation, but how are you guys feeling about this class so far? Because I'll tell you how I'm feeling. This has been the first class in a long time that right now we have 8 commitments. I love every single one of them, and I can say that honestly. I know Flo told me, hey, I'm a little on the fence about Medlock. That's fine. Some people are. He's a 3-star. He doesn't have a ton of tape out there. What's up, Les? How's it going? But even Medlock, I think he might be. I would think he's the lowest ranked, I think, in our commitment class. But even he, I really like and I'm excited about. I mean, there is just pure quality in this class. No weak links, and they're just, and they're showing no signs of stopping. Every guy they pick up is quality. Yeah, I'm ready too, man. I literally just hit refresh on his Instagram. Nothing yet. But yeah. Oh, hold on a second. Oh no, notification on my Twitter. I thought maybe it was him, but that's not him. Okay. Let's see, Randy. First question, John. What's up with Malik Curtis? Word is he hasn't been seen at practice. Yeah, from what I've been hearing, Malik Curtis is dealing with a personal issue, so he is not with the team at practice at the moment. But I would expect him to join up with the team hopefully this season. We'll see. From what I'm hearing, he's dealing with a personal matter right now. But man, that's a guy that I would love to have back, simply for his return game. I mean, think Travis Benjamin. That freshman year, 2008, where you remember that rainy game against Florida State where he was returning all those kicks and basically single-handedly got us back into that game on special teams. That's the kind of electric player we have in Malik Curtis, I think. So, yeah, watch out for him. Class looking good so far. Need some South Florida dogs to commit, though. Yeah, but remember, this is – Markeith is live right now. All right. Let's see. See if there's a way I can mute this so I don't get booted from YouTube. Okay, so I'm watching it right now. Okay, let me know if you guys can hear me, by the way, because I just lowered the volume. You know what? You know what? Better yet, I'll follow it on my phone. Sorry, guys. All right, here we go. All right, so watching his commitment right now, so he probably will decide in the next few minutes. Let's see. You hit it right on, John. All quality recruits. We still have a couple 4-stars out there. Oh, we got quite a bit of 4-stars out there, Les, that we can go get. But yeah, keeping you updated on Markeith. It looks like. Let's see, what's he doing? I think he's about to announce it. But anyway, yeah, quality class. And yes, main event, to answer your question really quick, this is kind of a weird year for South Florida recruiting. It's not the same loaded class that we're used to seeing out of South Florida. Next year's will be. 2023 is going to be insane. It's stacked with South Florida talent. But this year, not as much. Certain positions, but that's why we kind of had to reach for some out-of-state guys. And, you know, and they've been quality guys. Kamari Rogers, #1 player in the state of Mississippi. We got him, and he's one of the most elite corners in the country. You know, so we're at Landon Ibieta from Louisiana. Great player, one of the top players out of that state. You know, we are, make no mistake, we are getting quality. To me, at this point, I don't care if it's South Florida or out of state, just get quality talent to South Beach. That's all I care about. Let's see. I don't have the volume up right now. I'm just watching, waiting for him to put on a UM cap or throw on a UM t-shirt or something. But yeah, it looks like he's talking to a group of people right now, probably family and friends. Let's see. Isn't 2020 class all offense basically loaded? Yeah. So this is kind of what we're all thinking. The 2022 class, you know, which is what we're watching right now, is more, you know, it's a lot more defense than anything. And then 2023 class is going to be offensive heavy. So yeah, this is going to be that class that I think gives us an elite defense for the next few years. I think they're planting the seeds for that right now. And yeah, that 2023 is absolutely loaded. Guys like Brandon Innes, Santana Fleming, you know, list goes on and on. Let's see. Has he said anything yet? Yeah, he's still talking. I think I saw orange and green balloons in that video. Some people are commenting on it. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, guys. I thought he would have announced by now, but we're like all watching it, waiting to see what he says. Again, if you're just tuning in, we are, you know, we're all kind of paying attention to Markeith's Instagram live and seeing what he decides. But all signs are pointing to him being a Cane. Man, they're really stalling. But anyway, while we wait, whatever questions you guys have for me, please throw them my way. That way we can kill a little time before he announces. Agree. Love Malik. Yeah. Malik on punt returns, it would be dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. Man, because I'm calling it, these kids drag these announcements out. Yeah, they were saying earlier on Flo's show, this dude's on Cuban time. So he's already fitting right in. Yeah, they're like telling stories right now and stuff. It's going to be a few more minutes. But, man, once he does commit, this safety room, this DB room, guys, think about it. For the next couple of years, how nasty is this defensive back room going to be? Let's start at safety. This is once Bubba Bolden and Gervin Hall are gone. Look at the safety position. You got Brian Bailey. You got Keyshawn Washington. You got James Williams. You got Cam Kinchins. And now Markeith Williams. And then probably going to add another guy. Because we're probably adding a second safety in this class. If not a tweener, somebody like an Alfonso Allen who's going to drop down to linebacker. But still, we'll be deep at safety. So that's just the safety room. Elite. And then corner, you got, okay, let's say Ivy is gone next year. Let's say Ivy and Blades are gone next year. Okay, Tyreek Stevenson gone. You still got Marcus Clark, who I really like. You still got Isaiah Dunson. You still got Kamari Rogers. Who else is in this class? Hopefully, maybe Jaheim Singletary. Who knows? You got, man, I'm blanking. Chris Graves and Traquan Fagans. That secondary is ridiculous. For the next 2 to 3 years, I mean, no fly zone. Who the hell is going to be able to pass on us? And if we get the defensive ends that I think we're going to get, forget it. All right, now Markeith's talking right now. He should commit in the next minute or two, I'm thinking. I've seen so many of these videos over the years. Let's see. All right, I think we land Shamar and Wesley. Chris, I think we do. I think we land both of them. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm very confident about Wesley. And yeah, I would give it like 70 to 80% chance, in my opinion, that we land Shamar. I feel pretty confident there. I think we made a huge impression on him. He's visited a ton of times. He's going to visit a ton more times. He loves the campus. He loves the coaches. I think making that initial impression and then building that relationship over the last few months all the way to signing day is going to be huge. And I think that's going to carry through, and we're going to land Shamar Stewart. Assuming we do as well as I think we're going to do on the field. I think we're winning 10 games. We do that. We take care of business on the field. We got Shamar and Wesley, so yes. What is he, a 4-star or 5-star? He is a 4-star, Unchained. Let's see, is he going to announce? Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on my phone screen right now. Yeah, Unchained. He Markeith Williams, which I'm assuming who you're talking about. He is a 4-star. I think he's ranked 12th or 14th in the nation at safety. He's if you haven't had a chance to look at Markeith's tape, by the way, go to his huddle, watch his film. It's very impressive. The dude just knows how to play the position. His instincts are very impressive. Let's see, John. I noticed IMG studs in 2023. How's our relationship there? We're working on it. We haven't had the best history with IMG guys. I know we did get Brian Hightower all those years ago, but aside from that, I mean, Jaleel Skinner is heading over there. So, and we are, putting all our chips in to try to get him. It's pretty much Jaleel Skinner or bust, I think, at tight end. Pretty confident that we land him, but we'll see. I mean, we haven't had the best history with IMG recruits, I'll be honest with you. And his quarterback now at IMG, AJ Duffy, is an FSU commit. So you kind of have that. I don't think he's going to FSU, but, he's got that FSU voice in his head, in his ear all the time with his QB because that's his boy. So we'll see. See, DVD and T-Rob getting it done on the trail. They are, Christopher, they are assassins. This is why we hired them. Let's see. Yep. Nothing yet, folks. Still watching. Kane. So if we land Singletary along with the current DB commits, I can see teams from around the country coming with blank checks for T-Rob and DVD. You are correct. I do see that as well. Those are two guys that I think if you're the University of Miami, you need to lock those guys up long term. When I say long term, I mean 15, 20 years. You keep those guys here. Because those guys, to me, are the Art Kehoe and Don Solinger of this new era. They have to be like the mainstays, the cornerstones of this program, in my opinion. Even, let's say Manny Diaz in a few years is no longer here. You do whatever you can to keep those two here. I mean, they will be the new heart and soul of this program when it comes to the assistant coaching staff, just like Solinger and Kehoe and, and I'm probably leaving out a couple others that those guys were. Shiano was there for a while during that rebuild. So, yeah, you got to keep those guys around long term, in my opinion. Damn, he will be a junior at Miami before he. Yeah. Yeah, man. Man, he's got 650 people on his IG Live. Yeah, I hope my live, I'm going live until 8:30. I hope he announces before then. See, did Williams commit? Nope. Matthew, he did not. That's what we're watching right now. So, yeah, you guys brought up an interesting point while we wait about the coaches. Yeah, of this staff, TVD and D-Rob, you got to lock them up long term. Whatever it takes to keep them here money-wise, you pay them. Because if they continue doing what they're doing right now on the recruiting trail, we are going to win more games. We win more games. The school has shown over the last year, with these new hires, that they're willing to bring out the checkbook for Manny Diaz if he needs the help, and also if we're winning games. We did improve last year from 6 wins to 8 wins, and showed some promise. And so those are the two guys you got to lock up. I think Coach Simpson, maybe you keep him here another year, but I don't think he stays long term. Coach Shoup, again, maybe he's here another year. Maybe he's the D coordinator officially next year, but I don't think he's here long term. I think T-Rob's the DC of the future. Oh, wait, did he announce? There's no light, but everyone in the comments is saying 305, yes, sir, orange and green. Man, I can't see. It's so dark. I'm guessing he picked Miami. Everybody's celebrating in the comments. Yep. Official, folks. Markeith Williams is a Cane. At 7:49, finally at 7:49 p.m., he announces Markeith Williams is officially, has verbally committed to the University of Miami. Let's see. Boom. Yep. We got ourselves a stud, folks. Let me bring up his 247, Markeith Williams. 247. Yeah, guys, this is who we just landed. If I can, you know what? Let me share my screen. Why not? Share screen. Yeah, here we go. One second. Here we go. All right. So this is the dude that we just landed. 6'1", 170 pound. Again, those weights are always, not updated. He's probably closer to like 190, 185, 190, but 6'1", long, rangy safety, great tackler. 14th best, 17th best safety in the country on the composite. That's all the rankings. But in just the 247 rankings, he's the number 14 safety in the nation. Ranked number 167 overall. That's regardless of position, overall player in the country. That is elite status right there. From Orlando, picked us over Nebraska, Ohio State, Alabama, and, Auburn, and there were some good schools after him. So now you know what's going to happen. Alabama fans are going to come in and say, "Oh, he wasn't a take for us. There's bigger fish we're after." Listen, this dude's a stud. We got a good one. And if you don't know the story, I told it last time, and a lot of us on our channels have told this story. But if you don't know, I believe it was last year during a game, Markeith fractured his wrist and refused to come out of the game. He ended up staying in and led the team in tackles. That's the kind of toughness and leadership that we need on this team, and reminds me a lot of the kind of leadership that like Jaquan Johnson brought at that safety position. I think this guy can bring that, but he's bigger in stature, which is great. He's got that NFL size to him. Let's see. Good day to be a Cane. Who's up next? 22 to the U. Yeah. Let's play that game real quick. Who do you think is next? I have my opinions. I think it's going to be one of two guys. I think it's going to be either Snoop Amama or it's going to be Jaheim Singletary, the corner. I think it's going to be one of those two. Max, what's going on, man? What do you think of the good news, brother? I mean, we all had a pretty good idea that he was committing here. CANES Sports said he was 242. I don't hold them in the highest regard, but let's move on. Yeah, 24/7. 24/7 is my go-to for player rankings. 24/7, then ESPN, then CANES Sport, and then the composite on 24/7, I believe, averages all of them. You said, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, he's huge. One of the best safeties in the country. Yes. Yeah, I think it'll be Jaheim Singletary next. Jaheim or Snoop, one of the two, but I think it'll be Jaheim Singletary. And then we round out that cornerback class for 2022. Imagine that. Jaheim, Traquan Fagans, Chris Graves, Kamari Rogers, and now Markeith Williams. And then a sixth spot is open for either Alfonso Allen, Nick Cole. We're going to get a stud to fill that position as well. Hey, Demetrius, what's going on? Thank you for hopping on. I don't know if you missed the good news, but let me I actually made a banner for this. Markeith is a cane. There you go. I got you guys covered. So, yes, we landed one of the top safeties in the nation. Markeith was all in the Singletary was all in the Markeith chat. All right, that's something. I always like to follow that, like who's on whose IG live, making comments, who's liking, and retweeting each other's tweets. That's a good thing to follow. Gives you a good indication. Singletary, you think Singletary, Randy? I agree. Did you just say Sue will be? I have a feeling it might be him or Singletary. Those are my two picks for who's going to be next. Yeah, no, it's not gonna be the Bear Alexander thing with Flo all over again. No. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm just making what I think is going to happen. John, you ready for a great show? Hit the like. Yep. Thank you, brother. Thank you for reminding the folks. And yes, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the little bell, the notification bell, so it lets you know whenever I go live or whenever I drop a video. And please hit the like button. It always helps. I think Devin is next. You know what? I didn't think there was, but in the last 48 hours, I feel like there is some smoke there. I think we have a shot at Devon Jackson. I really do. Imagine that linebacker room. Devon and Wesley, assuming we get him, and Medlock, because he and Medlock are boys. So we'll see. We'll see. Jake Garcia was in the live. He and Skinner. Interesting. Let's see what else is here. So Singletary was in the Markeith chat. Garcia was in it, and Skinner. That's why I say I like our chances with Skinner. I'm tired of SEC. I'm assuming you're saying you're tired of the SEC. Yes, we all are. I think if anybody's going to knock them off that pedestal, why not us? Why not us? John, you said that. Don't you start that. Do not start that. Bear is not going to be a cane. I'm saying it right now. With Singletary, I hope all upperclassmen. Wait, with Singletary, I hope all upperclassmen leave. No, man, I don't hope that. You want depth. And if these practices have been any indication, Randy, is the whole seniority thing is kind of little by little going out the window. I think young guys are going to play, maybe not start, but they're going to play more than they did last year. You're going to see more of a presence in that in the lineup of the young guys. We can use Devin Jackson, the like button, defensive tackle. Who commits first? Sigmund, I think I think we land Daniel Lyons. I don't know if he commits first, but yeah, I'm going to say Lyons for now. I think we flip him. But again, that's which defensive tackle commits first. We might not have a defensive tackle commit for a while. I don't know. We'll see. Yep, all three. I'm so sick of so sick of the Bear talk. SEC is top heavy. They are. They're elite though. John, how about Anthony Lucas, DJ Weslock? There's definitely some smoke for Anthony Lucas. He does like Miami a lot. We're competing with like some of the top programs in the country, though, like the 5 or 6 biggest brands in college football. That's basically who we're competing for the services of Anthony Lucas. But he likes Miami a lot. We are definitely in the ballpark for him for sure. When is Singletary going to announce? He hasn't said when he's going to announce Unchained. I think we're just all kind of waiting. Singletary, to catch you up if you don't know, he decommitted from Ohio State, like right after this pool party that Miami hosted for the players. So right there, it was like, oh, any day now he might commit to Miami. So, we're on commitment watch for Singletary right now. We don't know if it's going to be now or during the season, but I think at some point he's going to be a Cane. I have heard that there are a couple of silent commits. We've been hearing that for a while. Manny Diaz said it on the Joe Rose show a couple months ago, and that's what I'm still hearing. My opinion, I think he's one of them. I think he's definitely one of them. Let's see. Love Lions. Jake is a great. Yes, he is. Do not take that lightly, folks. Jake Garcia is a fantastic recruiter. Wesley Meade, yes. God, I am excited about this class. I wanted to talk a little bit of, and we should still have time. I wanted to talk a little bit of Bama coming up because it's in 3 weeks. But God, this now 9 commits, and it is looking. This class is looking really, really good, guys. Yeah, you know what? Let me share my screen again because they just added him to our list of commits. 1 second, folks. Share screen. Look at this. And this is in order of how highly they're rated. Kamari Rogers rated a 0.97. That's basically a 5-star. I don't know why he doesn't get that 5th star. Traquan Fagans, 0.96. 2 elite, like, stud corners. Those are 2 that's huge right there. And look at the size on Traquan Fagans. 6'2", 180 already in high school. Ja'Cory Brown, great QB, lots of upside. Kind of a low floor, high ceiling situation there. If he hits that ceiling, he's a potential Heisman winner. Markeith Williams, who I just spent the last half hour talking about. Isaiah Horton, great wide receiver. Reminds me a lot of Hankerson. Reminds me a little bit of Amon Richards. Great get there. Chris Graves, great athlete. Long, 6'1", in the 180 range. Good size. Plays both offense and defense, so he's an athlete, but he's going to play corner here. Justin Medlock, solid linebacker. Really no weaknesses in his game. Landon Ibieta, just all hard determination. Reminds me a lot of Braxton Berrios, but a little bit more size. He's 5'11". I think Braxton was like 5'9" on a good day. 5'11", $185. If that's legit, that's much better size, and he plays even bigger than that. Let me just say that. And then, of course, you got Fulent Carr as well. 6'7", probably 280-something pounds right now and still bulking up. Not rated super high. He's a bit of a – people call him a bit of a project. I'm saying right now that he, in the 2022 season – well, no, 2023, because 2022 would be his freshman year. 2023 season, that dude, Flip, is going to be competing for a starting tackle job. I'm saying it right now. And stop sharing. So, yeah, 9 commits, and they're all really, really, really good. Mama sometimes means much more than daddy. Let's see. Catch up on these comments here. We still kill the flow. Yeah. Yeah, we're just messing with Flo at this point. Flo said, I think he told me at one point that he's gonna get a Bear Alexander tattoo if we land him. that was back during Paradise Camp when he was on vacation in Miami visiting. If Stewart, Kelly, Lucas, Jones all commit to Miami, would there still be room for Zane or Lyons? That's a good question. Let's think about it. So, Shamar Stewart, Nigel Kelly, Anthony Lucas, and Marvin Jones. Okay. You land all four of those guys. Maybe you squeeze in one of those two, maybe Lyons, but then that would mean, we wouldn't have to take Dante. Maybe you squeeze in a Lyons or a Zane, but not both. I don't think you would have enough room. And even then, maybe take away one of the numbers from O-line, because I still want 4 there. But yeah, that's a good question. I think if you land all 4 of those guys, maybe you squeeze in a Zane Durant or something. You could. I think there's enough numbers there. Maybe you take away one of the numbers you're planning on using, one of the spots you plan on using for transfer portal. You could do that. There's a lot of wiggle room in this class. Now you're starting to see the method behind Manny's madness here. I think Jones is a silent commit. You think Marvin Jones is a silent commit? I mean, you're from your lips to God's ears, hopefully. Okay, now I know what this means. Mama sometimes means more than daddy. What he means there, folks, if you don't know, Marvin Jones Jr. is yes, that Marvin Jones. He is the son of Marvin Jones Sr., who almost won a Heisman Trophy as a linebacker at FSU. The dude was an absolute monster in the early 90s. But mom is a Miami Hurricane. So there's that. Just saying. Just putting that out there. And I said it 2 months ago. I think at Paradise Camp, we made an impression with Marvin Jones. Because he got to talk to Jalen Phillips. He got to talk to Calais Campbell and all these guys, all these all-pros, or future all-pro in Jalen Phillips' case, just got drafted in the first round. I think we made an impression. And I think interest has only grown since then. How about Dante Anderson's status, John? I think there's some interest there. We just offered him last week or 2 weeks ago after the pool party. And I think, I'll be honest, I think Dante is a plan B if we don't land like a Nigel Kelly or a Marvin Jones as your weak side D end. Strong side D end, I think that's going to be Shamar. I've been saying it, and I'm going to continue saying it. I think we land Shamar, and on the other side, it's going to be one of Kelly, Dante, or Marvin Jones. So I think, again, to answer your question, Chris, Dante's kind of like a plan B. If we don't land one of those like gems, next one will be Dante. I trust the staff. Won't be a 5-star because he is a Miami commit. Are you talking about Kamari Rogers, what I said earlier? Yeah. Kamari Rogers, I was saying earlier that he's rated a .9736 on that little rating thing on 24/7, which, I mean, that's basically a 5-star level player. But they can only give out so many 5-stars, so maybe that's why. Momentum is real now. Yeah, momentum is building, guys. I thought Ibieta was 6 feet or 6'1", pretty for might have his height wrong. You know what? Now that you say it, I think you're right. I think he is. I think he's like crossing 6 feet. Remember, a lot of these kids are still growing. So yeah, he is, think a bigger Braxton Berrios and a little bit more of a deep threat. You'd be surprised how much of a deep threat that guy can be. He's sneaky fast. I'll chip in for Flo's bear tattoo. Brother Jay Blaze, who's next? Yeah, guys, you tell me. Who do you think's next? I'm back on the Manny train. Yeah, I'm back. It's funny. A lot of people were saying the same thing last year, and then we finish, the North Carolina game happens and everybody jumps off. Guys, give it time. You don't rebuild the program in 2 years or even 3 years. It honestly takes at least 5 to really get to that elite status. And we are going into year 3, which usually, if you go back in recent history, Randy Shannon, I know these, maybe these are bad examples, but whatever. Just this is recent history for the Miami program. Randy Shannon improves year 1 to year 2, and then year 3 wins 9 games. Big drop off in year 4, gets fired soon after. Al Golden, almost the exact same thing. Improves year 1 to year 2. We see some promising things in recruiting. Year 3, his best recruiting class, they become sophomores, just like for Randy Shannon. And we win 9 games there in 2013. A lot of hype the next year, big drop off, gets fired in 2015. Coach Richt was a little different. I think he had more talent to work with. He had a better quarterback. So, go 9 games his first year. We win 10 games the second year. But Mark Richt is a much better coach. My point is, if you follow that trend, year 3 for Manny Diaz should be his best year yet by a lot. Again, I'm saying 10 wins. I say we beat North Carolina. Maybe we slip up against a Pitt or, I don't know, an NC State, or maybe a Georgia Tech catches us napping. One of those teams will slip up against probably, but still, 10 wins, I'll take that all day, any day. Honestly, I think we're going to win 10 this season. Yep. And yes, I agree. You can't pull the plug too early on these things. Do not abandon his rebuilding plan. This takes time. Dabo, it took him 7 freaking years to get to that status of, playoff contender. We win 10 games, it's over, we back. Maybe 11-1. That's also possible. That's not out of the realm of possibility. But I'll temper my expectations because we always have that one game that we slip up. It happened in 2017. But granted, that was a lot to do with injuries, and Malik Rozier just did not play well that day. I don't think we have that problem this year. We got a quarterback and we got depth. I agree, John. I think 10 wins potentially with the Bull during the regular season. Yep. That's my prediction. This is my official prediction, guys. I've said it before. I don't think we beat Bama. I think we're competitive in the first half. We see some promising things, and we're like, okay, moving forward, we play like this, we should beat everybody. Kind of like how we thought after the Florida game a couple years ago. Except this time, we won't choke in game 2. We're going to beat Appalachian State, probably by a couple of touchdowns, really get our footing after that, and go on a nice winning streak. We're going to smash FSU. North Carolina, I think we beat them. Do we beat them close? Do we kick their ass? I think it's a very competitive game. I think it's going to be high scoring, kind of like the NC State game last year, and I think we beat them. I think we slip up somewhere later in the schedule. We'll see, depending on who's injured and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. I think we win the Coastal. We go to the ACC championship. I think we are a much more prepared team against Clemson this time. It's a very competitive game. We lose a close one, but then we go on to the Orange Bowl and win that game. Probably face Wisconsin for the billionth time, but we finally beat them. Because then we discover, oh yeah, we have speed and they don't. Maybe we should use that. But yeah, that's my prediction for this season. If that's what happens, I'm more than okay with that. John, you're right. The thing is, we got to win on the field. I predict 10-2 or 11-1 at best. Especially when the roster isn't up to full scholarship and he has to fix the culture because lack of competition due to depleted roster. Yeah. And that's what past coaches have had to deal with. I mean, I have my criticisms of Randy Shannon as a head coach, but that guy, the cupboard was bare when Randy Shannon took over. And to get us to, let's see, he took over in 07. We went 5-7. 08, we went 7-6. But you saw some promising things from the Northwestern freshman. Third year, 9-4, and we go to a solid bowl game. And we're in a close game against Wisconsin that had J.J. Watt on that team. So, yeah, that definitely, you have to take that into account. UNC is a must-win. I agree. Got to win that game. Everyone's saying FSU's the must-win every year, but come on, you got to crush FSU by 40 again this year. We will crush Bama. Man, if that happens, oof, man, I will be insufferable. We are beating Clemson also. That is more believable, I think, than us beating Alabama week 1. That could happen. F that, we beating Clemson. I like it. I like the confidence. I think Manny turns the corner this year in year 3. I agree 100%. I think he will turn the corner. It'll be very noticeable on the field. The 2 games I worry about with Virginia Tech are Virginia Tech and NC State. We have shootouts with those teams. Let me see the schedule really quick. 1 second. Miami Hurricanes football schedule. Let me see when we're playing people, because that's important. We're not quite at the level yet where it doesn't really matter, like coming off bye weeks and stuff like that. Okay, so Bama, as you know, I have that as a loss. I think we beat App State by a couple touchdowns. I think we beat Michigan State by at least a couple touchdowns. CCSU, that's a tune-up game. That is what it is. We're going to blow them out. Virginia before a week off. We could be looking ahead to North Carolina there. I wouldn't be shocked if maybe we slip up against Virginia. But it's at home. We got a nice tune-up game right before that. I mean, you got a bye week afterwards, so you shouldn't be looking ahead. But that's a possible one. Then you got North Carolina coming off a bye week, which is perfect. That's likely going to be a primetime game, probably a top 10 matchup, top 15 matchup. NC State right after that. NC State could be the one that we slip up in. Even though it's at home, you're coming off what I think will be an emotional win against North Carolina. I don't get the NC State talk. We have them at home. Their best players and offensive linemen. Granted, the young man is very good. Listen, Manny, they went toe-to-toe with us last year because our defense played terrible the first 3 quarters. So, as I talk, I kind of see your point. But NC State was the only other team besides Clemson that we played that was ranked the entire season. That was the most quality opponent we played aside from Clemson, North Carolina, and then Oklahoma State in the bowl game. They were like Oklahoma State level. They were a solid football team, even without a quarterback. So imagine if they had one. I think beating Bama week 1 is actually more possible because of everything. Oh, lost my place. Beating Bama is more possible week 1 because of everything they have to replace, and it being week 1 than beating Clemson later in the season unless they have injuries. I see your point. I don't know. I just don't think this year Clemson is on the level of Bama, at least not defensively. Bama's returning some absolute animals on defense. And while their offense is young, they've got some of the best 5-star studs in the country. I ultimately don't think Bama wins the national championship. But then I'm contradicting myself. I did say Clemson was probably winning the national title, didn't I? I don't know. My mind changes on that stuff all the time. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just think we're battle-tested against Clemson. I think that's why I'm thinking we're battle-tested against Clemson. We've played them a few times. We've played Dabo a few times now. We're not going to be scared, especially after playing this entire schedule and winning 10 games, being Coastal champs again, for the second time in 4 years. I don't think we're going to be scared. We're not going to flinch against Clemson this time. Alabama, I can totally see, maybe the lights being a little too bright those first couple possessions. I don't think it's going to be like we fall behind 28-0. I think we're going to be competitive with Alabama at first, but this is Bama. It's Nick Saban. Saban is preparing for an entire offseason for this game. You got to take that into account. So even though, yes, I think Clemson ultimately wins the whole thing, I think the most complete team, maybe Georgia sneaks in there as a possibility, but I like Clemson the best. They're going to get tested right away against Georgia week 1. But it's kind of like how a rivalry game works. It's you know each other so well. Some kids grew up together. It's like it's a different level of competition. And it's starting to get to that point with Clemson. I think this is the year that we show up and we don't back down and we play a very competitive game against them. They both played dirty. Yeah, no comment. There's a few teams in the ACC that play dirty. A lot of cut blocking. NC State probably has top 2 O-line. and best linebacker core in the conference. They're solid, man. NC State's solid. They don't have, they don't have a quarterback that I'm aware of, but they got everything else, and they're very well coached. What helps us is that it's here. But remember, we are coming off a very emotional win, in my opinion, against North Carolina the week before. Clemson is actually returning pretty much their entire defense. Yeah. I think we'll be more prepared. That's all I'm thinking. And Saban will be more prepared for us because Miami's all he's thinking about right now. Trust me. What's up? Hey, Big Groove. What's going on, man? Let's see. Markeith me. 12-0 beat Bama by 20. Clemson is supposed to have a better wide receiver core this year with Ross back, and they actually like DJ to be better than Trevor or Watson. That's insane. Just because Trevor was a generational talent. But yeah, I see it, man. Uwagalili is, I think I pronounced that right. DJ Uwagalili, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Yeah, he's awesome. That dude's a beast. And he came in relief of Trevor Lawrence in that game against Notre Dame last year that Notre Dame won, but it was a shootout. DJ looked great. So I can see that happening. But, just maintaining that every year is tough. I don't know. We'll see. Saban is 4 times the coach that Dabo is. Yes. Thank you. I like Dabo as a coach overall, more as a recruiter and a developer. I don't think he's the game day coach and the game day planner that Saban is. Dabo has Brent Venables for that. Markeith? Yes. Matt, are you just joining us? He committed. Let me bring it up again. Hold, please. Banners, where is it? Here we go. Yes. Just to catch you up really quick. Markeith is a Cane. It's official. Go back to the comments. What up, John? Canes fan, we're getting closer. Yeah, man, 3 weeks. I think Miami beats UNC by 14 this year. You know what, man? If our defense decides to show up, it would not shock me. Would not shock me in the least. I'd be a little surprised. I'm thinking it's going to be a close game. Kind of like the 2019 game, but we're not going to – even in that game, as competitive as it ended up being, we fell behind 14-0 because I think it was Bandy and DJ Ivy just got burned off the line. I don't know if they were wearing the wrong cleats or what, but they just – stumbled and slipping and sliding all over the place, and they got beat. They were up down 14-0. And even with the garbage offense we had that year, we still came back and tied it. No, we took the lead. That's right. Mallory caught the winning touchdown, but then dropped the 2-point conversion. Yeah. Even with that start, we still should have won that game. And that was Sam Howell we were playing against. So, yeah. I think it's going to be more like that 2019 game, but without the crappy start. I hate to say UGA wins the ship this year and 4 years. Yeah, you know what? I have never, as much as I dislike the SEC in general, and I was always a Mark Richt fan even when he was there. I like him better than Kirby Smart, to be honest with you. I think really they're basically the same coach. But I like Mark Richt better. Yeah, UGA could sneak past Bama. That is possible. I've got Bama going to the playoff, but let's see what UGA does week 1 against Clemson. That's going to be very telling. I think they're really good. And the point I was going to make, I never have disliked Georgia, ever. They play teams that I hate, like Florida, like Alabama. I've always liked watching Georgia play growing up. Those years that they had, David Green and then Aaron Murray at quarterback. They had Hines Ward back in the day. They had all those great defenses. I always liked watching Georgia play, man. Let's see. You're smoking some. DJ isn't close to Trevor. Listen, Hollywood, that's what people are saying. It's not just 904 to defend him. It's not just 904 saying that. A lot of people are saying, this guy is the second coming. He is a better prospect than Trevor. to have a once-in-a-generation talent like Trevor Lawrence and then get a better guy right after him, I think is extremely hard, and the chances of that are slim. That's my thought. I think it's going to be great, but we'll see. Can't let Clemson beat us again, Dakota style. Yeah, they'll be prepared, Rod. They'll be prepared. Ukulele. It's pronounced ukulele. They were saying last year, announcers were saying Uwagalele. I don't know if that's correct or not. But then again, Marcus Mariota, they pronounced it so many different ways before they got it right. Let's see. Where am I? He does not have the IQ of Sunshine. They do not have an ETN bone and left. Yeah, but man, they always have great skill talent. I mean, I think they lost a great running back before ETN, and then ETN steps in and he's, amazing. If it wasn't some bad calls, receivers not manning up, Clemson game would have been closer. Ron, I don't think there were many bad calls in the Clemson game. I will say, well, the targeting one was complete BS. I know, yeah. That targeting call, I mean, they were doing that all night to De'Ara King, lowering their helmets. It's like, you got to be consistent. I agree there. What killed us against Clemson more than anything was the penalty yardage. And the penalties were at the worst time. We make a stop on fourth down, offsides. We knock a ball away, we strip a ball loose, face mask. It's stuff like that. You got to keep the penalties under 40, 50 yards. That's like, it can't be more than that. You do that, you have a chance against Clemson. You really do. Thanks, John. Manning needs to step up. Yeah. That targeting call on the quarterback was horrific. Yeah, I agree. No, that was a terrible call. I'm trying to remember who it was. Can someone in the chat remind me who was it? Keontra? Was it Keontra Smith? Somebody lowered his helmet, but into like his stomach or into his chest. The referee walks up to him and basically was like, "You all right?" And just looks at him. He sees him, boy wonders, writhing in pain. And then they're like, "Oh, flag, he was targeting." It wasn't in the head or neck area. He lowered his helmet, but into his chest. Like, what do you want these guys to do? He hires well. That's why we need him more money to keep T-Will. Yeah, the T-Will thing was unfortunate, but, don't be shocked if he finds his way to Miami one day. We're going to smash UNC. I hope so. Yes, DJ lost that game against North Carolina, but he dropped the most passing yards in history against them. Yeah, no, he lit up a very good Notre Dame team at Notre Dame as a freshman, a true freshman, if I'm not mistaken. No, DJ's legit. How do you feel about Coach Diaz's in-game adjustments? He definitely improved because, 2019 was just a cluster F. It was the Georgia Tech game was a good example. Georgia Tech sees that we're not running down the field with the gunners blocking them on punts, that we're just kind of standing around, and they call a fake punt pass. And you guys have probably seen the picture on Twitter of just DJ Ivey standing there with his hands in the air and the guy's wide open. Something about them not being lined up and prepared for it, that Georgia Tech just saw it and we're like, oh, easy touchdown. That's just an example. Stuff like that. I think he's cleaned that obvious stuff up. And I think he's cleaned up the bouncing back after a loss, to be honest with you, because after the Clemson loss, we bounced back the very next week and beat a decent Pittsburgh team. They're not great. They're not very good, but they're one of those scrappy defensive teams that, they'll beat you if you're not careful. We beat them 31-19, 31-17, if I'm not mistaken. We could have played better that day. I remember that game, but we won by a couple scores. And then after the beatdown we suffered against North Carolina, we fall behind 21-0 against Oklahoma State in the bowl game. We come back And I think at one point we tied the game. Probably should have won the game if it weren't for all the drops. You can't, well, you could partially blame Manny for the drops because he could have subbed those guys out, but you know what I'm getting at. I think he's gotten better in-game adjustments and adjustments during the week to prepare for the next team, to get the, wake the team back up after a loss. I think he's improved, and I think year 3, he's going to improve even more. Clemson had twice the talent of Notre Dame. Hey, that's arguable. Last year's Notre Dame team was one of the best they've had in like 20-something years. Oh, yeah, I just think UNC is very overhyped this year. I have them losing to Virginia Tech first game. Like I said, we need to talk at Samoan. I don't. Lost my place. I don't think Bama goes to the playoffs. I could see UGA, Oklahoma, Oregon, and Clemson. That's a good Final Four. I would not be shocked if that were to happen. I think pretty much everybody has Oklahoma going because Spencer Rattler is special. I think that's the best quarterback maybe they've ever had. Yeah, that could. I'd be more excited about that Final Four, honestly. Some new blood in there. Ohio State's not in there. Bama's not in there. I would love to see that Final Four. Of course, if Miami doesn't make it. What's the plan of Clemson and FSU bolt ACC to SEC? Does Blake James have a game plan? I'm sure they do. I wouldn't worry too much about that. We would either, join the Big Ten, join the SEC. We're not just going to hang out and stay in a weak conference that we're the only team. I doubt. I don't see that happening. Let's see. I really have no doubt we beat Bama week 1. I think too many people have Bama phobia, like there's some kind of machine that can't be beaten. I agree that everybody could be beat. Everybody can be beat. Any team can lose on any given week. But Saban has created a bit of a machine, and there's a reason he's won every opener he's played in. Granted, I think we're better than pretty much any of those teams that he's played in an opener. Even that USC team that he destroyed. But we'll see, man. We'll see how prepared we are. That's the first thing I'm looking for is how prepared are we? How do we look in the first half? They're saying that he is just as accurate as Trevor. The Trevor versus DJ argument. I disagree with running back for Clemson. I'll let you guys argue about that. Only got a few minutes left. But yeah, man, as we get closer to the game, I do want to cover a little bit more of how we're going to approach Bama, how we're going to beat them. Just to give you my thoughts on that, my initial thoughts. On offense, I think we're going to have to do a little bit similar to what Ole Miss did, what Lane Kiffin did against them, because he put a lot of points on that defense last year. And I think we have to use more of that short passing game, those quick slants and, an occasional screen, a jet sweep, just exotic, funky things like that to throw off their defense. Use that to open up the running game. Because, yes, we are going to have to establish a run. We can't be running for 1 yard a carry against Bama because we're going to get smashed. We need to establish a run somehow. And it's got to be more schematic than just raw brute force. So I think we're going to have to use that short passing game to open up the run. Maybe those safeties creep in and you hit them over the top. That's how I think we got to approach them. A lot of high percentage passes early. Get De'Ara King in a rhythm. Like what Jaron Williams did against Florida, those first couple scripted drives. He looked really good. And he had Jeff Thomas wide open on that first possession. So King won't miss a guy wide open down the field. So I think short passes, high percentage throws to start, I think can open things up. Have a clip of Clemson linebacker. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Clemson linebackers were lowering their helmets on our ball carriers all night. They didn't call anything because they're not Trevor Lawrence. Let's see what else before I log off. Gotta wrap it up. All right, man. Be safe. Be competitive. Be competitive, but Bama struggles against running QBs. Yeah, Bama does tend to struggle against running QBs. And you know what? another thing that I heard somebody mention earlier, I read it somewhere. Our speed and athleticism in the striker and safety position, the fact that we're going to kind of go smaller and go for speed and athleticism on defense, that's going to be tough to replicate. So I think that's something that we could catch them off guard with. Look at my previous comment. Look at this one and we'll get out of here. I think Keyshawn Smith is the #1 receiver by the end of the year. I also think King throws for around 3,400 yards. Oh, I think he throws for 4,000. Yeah, I think he throws for over 4,000. I think King throws 28 touchdowns, 28 to 30 touchdowns with like 5 or 6 picks. I think those are his numbers. Similar to last year with a slight improvement in the touchdowns. I think he becomes more efficient, and I think he has a little bit more rushing yards too, because that read option thing where he's just handing it off every time, I think that's out the window. I think the gloves are off with him. Let's see, what else? Yeah, I think we'll end it there. 8:30, boys. Good show. Thank you guys for coming on. 90 there. I think there was like 95 in the chat at one point. Thank you guys so much. For those 90 that are in the chat right now, please hit the like button. I'm not watching it right now, so I don't know how many likes I have already, but please, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the subscribe. It's my goal to hit that 1,000 before the season starts. I think I could do it because I got a few weeks left. And yeah, follow me on, let me take the comment away really quick so you can see my handle. Follow me on Twitter at @Canes_blog right there. And follow me on Instagram. I'm on all the socials. And yeah, it's 3 weeks until the season, guys. I can't believe it, but the off season always flies by. And sure enough, it's here. But I can't wait. We're going to really dive into like a little bit more game planning, X's and O's kind of thing, preparing for the Bama game, how I think that we can beat them, what game plan I think we should go in with. And guys, give me your suggestions as well. Until then, have a good night, everybody. As always, it's all about the U. Go Canes.